All right, we're on site finally here to work today. It is a little afternoon. Time we load up all the tools and finalize our building permit and everything. Here we are. I like to try and be billable 10 to 6 in the summertime weather because, of course, there's plenty of the day left after 6 p.m. But getting up and getting out of the house and getting started with having everything you need just takes a couple of hours, even though I'm normally up by 7 anyway, if not 6:30. So, point is, this is that monstrosity, and it's a beauty. This is a Pella Architects Select, or Architects Reserve. Architects Reserve. It's it's a real humdinger, my grandpa would say. It's a fully composite construction. Aside from the interior side is an unfinished pine. And unfinished pine, it's a real beauty. Real dimensional grids on both sides give that, the best case scenario for a real divided pane look, which of course it's all one pane of glass. But they used to simply be individual pieces, and there was a rabbet or otherwise a groove and all of this, and it was all millwork, etc. So we don't want to, most people that I would work for, and myself included, want a real dimensional grid. Oh, I'm gonna clean every one of the, I don't care. I'm not installing a smooth glass door unless I really want to do your project. Because I'm a cherry picker and I like to work on vintage homes that and do beautiful work that, continues to contribute to the quality of the home overall. So that's important to me. It's a 6,300 and some, I forget, where's the slip, MSRP, but somebody ordered this for a customer last year who had just wanted a quote, and then they called and said, hey, it's in, and they said, what's in? So then the distributor had to sit on this. It does have a small blemish here. It's the tiniest little bit of a scrape. I may get it off of there with like a Mr. Clean scrubber, a very high grit sandpaper is all that is. Or I have a little touch-up paint. Had to be front, top, dead center, right in my face. If anyone operating the door couldn't have been down there or elsewhere. So I kind of got them on that as well. And I could tell they were in a hurry to get rid of it. We got it for $4,000 out the door with delivery. So it showed up yesterday. And just a heck of a quality item for a really good price. And everything came with, it's all Pella lock set, and it's a clear opening. It's an 84-inch by 84-inch rough opening. It's got a true curved top, so it just requires a 7¼ LVL header, 2 layers straight through, just catching the top of the curve. And everything is Pella hardware, Pella oil rubbed bronze handles, etc. So you can, I believe you can pick the primary slab, so in other words, which one stays more often and which one's more often used. They lock together, but to swing them both open, it's a clear, 6.5-foot opening. And it's just gorgeous. And it will be the feature of this whole project, basically. And we got, like I said, a great price on it. It'll be front and center and under the central higher area of the pergola. And to go along with the curved top, like we said previously, we're going to create details in the pergola that echo that kind of a thing. So our lumber's out front like you saw, and let's just check out what we brought for tools to kind of do us for most of this whole project. I probably need to grab something that I didn't bring here or there, but I've got the meat and the potatoes of what we need here. What does that mean for a deck and a French door install? Well, we're starting inside, so I've got my zip ball and a roll of 4mm plastic. Sometimes I use 6mm if I'm going to really be throwing around a lot of plaster and lath. That stuff will tear plastic pretty easy if you bump it, so I'll go thicker. But I had the end of this 100-foot roll of 4mm. That'll get us isolated with some tape. I like to use a good quality painter's tape, which I'll check on the end. I guess I left it in the garage. But then we've got general job site stuff like fan and all the sealing and installing the door stuff like caulk, expanding foam, and sealant and flashing tape, and the gun and stuff for the foam and everything like that. First we need a rough opening, so I've got clamps and bars and hammers and pry bars and demo kind of stuff like that. I got my circular saw and my Sawzall for framing actively and removing framing. And then in this box here, it's normally for the stuff that's labeled, but we've expanded here. We've got a few drills, the oscillating tool, my little cutoff tool that I'll change over to an abrasive disc. This will get our plasterboard kind of shape cut out and off the wall, and a couple of screw gun drivers. The planer, power planer, in case I've got a little bit of proud framing, or sometimes when you're working on older framing, it's a little bit thick, the dimensions a bit greater or a bit smaller than what you've got for framing lumber that you're putting in, so taking a hair's breadth off of one or the other goes nicely with the planer. All the batteries I think are in here, along with framing nails for the pass load gun, which is what we'll use. That way we don't need a compressor. As soon as somebody wants to buy this from me, I'll move into the Milwaukee framer. Can't wait to homogenize my framing scene here with the rest of my battery tools. I've got my seaming pliers and crimping pliers in case I run into any heating ducts for whatever reason, and you know, to that end I've got the respirator here. But in the same you know, like incidentally, if I run into any electrical that needs to be routed, we've got all my electrical tools in here. And then this is all of the drill bits, spade bits, jigsaw blades, socket driving bits, special drill bits, you know, tips for running in screws and socket tips and stuff, and a selection of the smaller kind of hole saws just for all the drill motors and stuff that I may or may not want to use. Some nitrile foam coated work gloves, which are kind of as tightly fitting as nitrile gloves, but given the fabric weave and then the nitrile foam, these have kind of seen better days, but they hang out a lot longer. They don't just split and fall off your hand if you encounter something sharp, so I like those. And my tool belt, a 6-foot level, because this is going to be a nominal 8-foot ceiling, but a full 8-foot 96-inch level is going to be tight and get jammed, and as soon as we downsize to a door opening, we won't be able to get in there at all. So the 6-foot will do us. I may need a shorter level. A couple of heavy-duty bins for carting out debris. We don't need a full-blown, I don't think I need, there might be a few long things that go in the truck. Certainly don't need a dump trailer to get rid of this demo, so some bins with tops will be fine. Vacuum cleaner, the hose and the knockout pot that goes on the little cutout tool I neglected to bring, so I will have to go home and get that, I realize. But I've got the vacuum here, which powers that scene, the hose, the vacuum end, dustpan, and a broom. And for the most part, that'll be everything that we need here. And when we step inside, and we don't let any cats or dogs out, and we don't interrupt her daughter doing schoolwork, but we move over in here, and this will be where the door is going. I believe that we're going to consume this window, and, you know, go over there with the rough opening for the door. Because of how tight it is to this wall, I'd actually like to see it move over a bit. So though we'll be inside the window opening that was here, I'd like a bit more white space in terms of drywall, and then trim, and then the door, and then trim again, and then some more white space, and then this window here. And so that's why I say I'll be in and out today to be sure that everything jives with door placement between the look of the door in the home and the look of the door outside with a relationship to all these windows. And then that's where we'll place our posts that go to either side of the door for the deck. And in the end, everything will look like we planned it and did our due diligence, which is important. Obviously still a few things here that we've got to move carefully, some vases and stuff, but we're ultimately going to just tape in a square or a rectangle of plastic here. Same on the door there. And then because we haven't got to go this far, and this shelf of stuff here has, you know, we don't want to get a lot of dust on it, and we just scooted enough to tape plastic to the wall, and then we'll come over to like a zip wall post here, and maybe a zip wall post there, and then we'll put a zip door through it in here, and, you know, that way we can get through. So that ought to work out. And let's come back when we get that stuff set up and we're maybe looking inside the wall to see what we see.